All right, we do have RG3 coming up, or as I called him, Mr. G3.
That was funny.
Well, you never know when you don't know somebody. And we actually share an agent. I don't know if he knew that, and I never want to be the guy that's like, we have the same agent.
That's legit.
That's cool.
Like to share an agent. Well, to have an agent one is legit.
I didn't say
Pretty
that to get this reaction for the record. My
It's cool,
point is,
though.
you never know if like somebody you know, because what if like he's like, I'm like, hey, we have the same agent, and he hates him.
Oh.
It's like if you're
Oh,
like, oh,
yeah.
we have a mutual friend, Jim, and it's like, I hate Jim.
I
You're
don't
like,
talk
oh,
to
now
Jim
it's
anymore.
awkward because like Jim and I, Jim
We had a falling
smashed
out.
out my window and peed in the yard, and we don't talk. So I didn't want to be like, we got the same agent, RG3, Mr. G3, but we do,
That's very cool.
and that was it. So, but it felt awkward to bring up. He was nice, right? He was warm,
Yeah.
way warmer,
It
and
was so nice.
Yeah.
I had no expectation of that he wouldn't be nice, but sometimes people are just so pleasant to talk to while also being really good at their job. And that's how I felt with him, but he's coming up.
Is it cool when people know your name? I mean, I know he sees probably on the list like, oh, I'm talking to Bobby Bones, got it. But when they call you Bobby, isn't that cool? Like that they call you by your first name and it automatically feels like he knows you.
Well, that's why we're saying he's warm, because he did the little things. He had no idea who I was. I'm virtually certain.
But I
never
felt like he did. I felt like he did.
I never expect anybody to know who I am, nor do I think they will. We're in what's called like pocket fame, where in a little pocket, everybody's kind of famous at something. Like if you're just trying, you're kind of famous at something. I never suspect anybody knows anything about me. So I do not think he knew who I was before he went on. And if he did, that's awesome. But I didn't think about that. I just thought he was good at what he did. And he felt warm because there are little tricks that even if you don't know somebody, you just say somebody's name, they will like you more. Just generally in life. Like if I just meet Kevin and we're like, hey, we're going to work together. Hey, let's go to lunch, talk about stuff. And I'm like, yeah, Kevin. Not weird like that. But if you say the name, it feels like an investment. Like they know who you are. Even if it's subconsciously, you feel like, oh, I like this person more. They're addressing me specifically.
Yeah, because most people will just say, and I do it all the time, what's up, man?
Man, or nothing at all. And you don't lose anything by it,
Right.
but there is gain in things like saying someone's name, eye contact, smiling. Now, if you do them all a little too much at one time, it's a little weird.
It's creepy.
Kevin! But all of those, the greatest politicians, actors, the greatest communicators are those that do those little micro communications the best. And I don't know if you knew who I was or not. I don't expect him to. But he was great at that. And
Yeah, he
that
was
could have
really
been why
good
he
at
was
that.
so warm. Anyway, we're here. Got a lot of games this weekend. The really cool one is the Buffalo and Baltimore game.
Yeah.
Like there are a couple games that I'm really excited about. There's one I give no craps about at all, but the Baltimore Buffalo, one of those quarterbacks is going to be sad and is going to continue their legacy of the quarterback that can't do it in the playoffs. And both of them deserve at some point to win a Super Bowl because they're are they the top three Mahomes and then those two?
Oh, yeah.
Right? I mean,
so.
Burrow, you got to put in the conversation, but I mean, they're 2 and 3, however you want to switch them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like Phil Mickelson to Tiger Woods, though. Weird time to exist if you're Phil Mickelson. Any other decade,
He would have dominated.
you win multiple majors. These guys, any other time, they probably win multiple Super Bowls, and they still might. But we're in a golden age of the quarterback.
But even if they would have just gone to the conference, like if one of those could be in the NFC, they'd have a really good chance at winning a Super Bowl.
Probably. There's a lot of what the environment is, who the coach is, what the scheme is,
Sure.
et cetera. But we're in the golden age of the quarterback. And a lot of times we don't know we are while we're in it. We only know we are when we're out of it. Not even just this specifically, but different eras.
Yeah.
We got to appreciate now, like we're in it. But the league rules have also made that able to be done. Meaning you obviously can't hit the quarterback, well, any harder than they deserve. You can't, hit them low. You can't hit them high. Can't hit them east. Can't hit them west. Can't hit them north. But that protects their ability to do what we celebrate. And so therefore, this era is kind of presented to us, and it's awesome. We got Mahomes at 1. Let's just put Lamar at 2 for the sake of the argument,
Sure.
because I don't feel like arguing. At 3, we'll put Josh Allen, or we
Okay.
can go 2A, 2B, who gives a crap. At 4, we'll put Joe Burrow.
Yep.
That's 4 legit guys. Okay, let's go to 5. Somebody suggest a 5 because I think that's where the gap is, right?
Right. Yeah.
From that A tier to the B plus tier, I think right there is where the next set of quarterbacks goes.
Goff.
I know.
I
That's
mean,
Stafford.
I'm trying to give some love to the NFC
I
here.
think that Goff, the trouble with Goff is he was seen as not as good for a long time. He was traded.
Yeah.
He went to Detroit. He was just, and he wasn't a throw in, but no one expected him. That whole thing was we're going to trade all these picks and okay, Goff for Stafford, even though Goff had been to a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
never seen as the guy. So what happens is, and I would say I can compare this into the business world. There are people that were my bosses when I got hired into this company or when my show became a syndicated show 13 years ago that are still my bosses, that are still in this company. They still look at me as the guy that, I don't know if he'll make it. It's intern syndrome. Like you hire somebody as an intern, but they end up being a friggin' massive executive. The people that are there that saw them as the intern still see them as the intern. And there are people that look at me the same way. And they're like, well, you're still just the dude that you're like, oh, he's crazy. Let's risk it and see if he'll do it. And that's just natural. Same thing with Jared Goff. Like we still see him as, I don't know, he's a Ram. He kind of sucks, but he's kind of good, but he's really not going to be great. But he's awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
he got in the
The thing about these A-tier quarterbacks too is that they're, they can run and they can throw. I feel like Goff is just really a pocket passer, very good at it, especially with this team. But that's really what's separating these 2 tiers.
Great point too about that. Goff doesn't have a lot of da-da-da-da-da-das because what we love to see are dynamic runs, hurdles. Like run, throw,
Josh
back,
Allen,
flip, run
over
through somebody, all that. Like that's what. So he's also not doing that, and he's also got so many weapons compared to his own weapons. He's not dynamic.
Right.
yeah.
Okay, I can put Goff in the level 2 category.
There's such a drop off. Such a drop off because then you talk about
But
like
Jalen
Jordan
Hurts.
Love,
Jalen
Jalen Hurts,
and I think that's that category, right?
Right.
So I'd put Hurts. Boy, Hurts almost was that.
Mhm.
He was so close after that
so
Super Bowl.
close.
Yeah.
He was there.
I was so
Yeah.
close. I would put Jalen Hurts. I would put Goff. Jordan Love, I think, has gotten into like the butt. He came up
He has
through the
his
butt.
moments.
He
Yeah.
came up through the
Yeah.
butt. I'd put him in that second category.
Right.
Because in
Way to
my
put it,
mind,
but
there's 4 categories. There's the A's, the B's, the C's that didn't quite, maybe you either thought they would, and then the D's who are just overrated and only have a job because they happen to be the 29th best, or they're lucky that so-and-so's backup is under contract.
Yeah.
Or a team is not wanting to spend money and they're going to lose for a bit.
Yeah.
Like
and they're
that
okay
would be
with
like the Aiden O'Connells. That would be like the Gardner Minshew type guys.
Yep.
But that B category, I mean, you got to put, I think you put Stroud in there.
Stroud, Baker, maybe.
We didn't put Stafford on there, did we?
Yeah,
No,
I think
Stafford
for a
yet.
second, I think Stafford was up in that A.
Yeah.
He like winked at it for a minute because even though he was great in Detroit, they didn't win. So I don't think if you're not winning, I don't think you can be up in the A, even if you're amazing.
But then he got moved to LA.
But
and
he
then-
winked at it and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they suck because people retired. They went all
Gave
in.
all their first round picks.
went
for
all
those
in,
trades.
absolutely.
Yep.
So yeah, he has the talent for sure, but hasn't been on enough winning teams to like live in it.
Yeah. But man, when he's rolling
Dude, they can win.
against the
They
Vikings,
can get to the Super Bowl. I don't think they will.
I wouldn't be
Right.
shocked though.
But
yeah.
but it wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't be like, this is unbelievable.
because you take him in the NFC, like which NFC quarterback in it now is better than him? Like who would you rather have than him?
Great question.
Yeah.
So okay, let's just go NFC teams. Detroit Lions. Would I rather have Jared? And this is the big trade. I think I'd still
that's
rather
close.
have Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would too.
I'd rather. Per the trade, then they would rather have Matt Stafford because they gave up Goff and a bunch of picks. The difference is Stafford's going to be done before Goff is.
Right.
Yeah.
Stafford's probably got maybe next year, and then you start to flirt with maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather have Stafford than Jalen Hurts.
I would.
Different quarterbacks.
Seems more clutch. I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think I'd rather. Now, are we in a vacuum? A single season?
Right now.
Okay. Going into the playoffs right now,
Right
I'd rather
now.
have Stafford than Hurts.
Yeah.
Okay. I'd rather have Stafford than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going only this playoff.
Right.
Yeah.
So of the 4 teams, I think Stafford is the NFC quarterback I'd like to have the most.
Yeah.
And he's won a Super Bowl. Talking to Matt Castle, dude's apparently like a genius as far as remembering things. Like
Who, Stafford is?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, dude, remember like the 6th play they called in 2013 on it. And some like McVay has that. They happen to be
they said that about
together.
McVay.
They happen to be together.
That's-
So I'm
yeah.
sure that's a.
Whoa.
But he talks about Stafford that way.
Whoa.
Like he can just remember everything.
I can't remember what I did yesterday.
Dude, where are we right now? You know? So here are the games. On Saturday, you got the Texans again. Congratulations, Texans, your Saturday game.
Yeah.
You know, if there's an NFL game on Saturday in the postseason and the Texans are in the playoffs, just write it down.
Just write it
It's
down.
there. Put it on a tablet.
Why
Like,
is that?
because the NFL thinks probably that the Texans, they haven't been around long enough to have a massive fan base. They haven't won a lot to have a massive fan base. So they put them in the least desirable spot.
Did you see their halftime show last week? Little mariachi band. Not mariachi, it's Tejano, dude. It was cool, man.
What's the difference?
Mariachi, they got the hats and all the bells and the violin and everything. Tejano's like, it's more like a band with like drums and
Oh, okay. Just
guitar.
like a Mexican band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question. I would have said one's at a restaurant and one's not.
That's probably a better way of it.
Like you could go, no, that's not a better way. I
Because
would,
a Tejano band's not going to go to your table.
correct. I would think a Tejano band is just like pop Mexican. My mind is just like a pop Mexican band
Yeah.
with guitars and stuff, but just from Mexico.
Yeah,
That they're probably not called Tejano in Mexico. They're probably just called a band.
that would be a band.
I don't know if that's true. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, like
Okay.
a mariachi doesn't plug in. They're just like acoustic
plug in.
guitar,
Good.
No
Acoustic.
DI box.
brass instruments.
I'm not fighting for my perspective. I'm just saying that's what I would have said. We only call it a Tejano band because it's like a pop or a rock band from Mexico. But if you go to Mexico, it's probably just a band.
Yeah. Well, Tejano is a Texas Mexican band.
What
from
does Tejano
Texas.
mean?
Texan.
Oh.
Tejano, like Texas
Texan.
and Mexico, right? Tejano, Mexico.
No, like I'm a Tejano. I'm a Texan, born and
but a
raised
Texan
in Texas.
Mexican, right?
I think that's just what you say in Spanish, right, Mike?
Yeah, just Tejano.
So like Miranda Lambert is technically Tejana.
She's
Wow.
a Tejana. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a Texas Mexican, or like the family was from Mexico,
No.
or like they were
Texican.
George Strait, Tejano.
a white guy can be Tejano. Oh, like,
So the team named the Texans like the Tejanos.
Wow, that's awesome, Mike.
they should change it to that.
They really
Yes.
My mind is blown.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe a person that I'm thinking would be called a Tex-Mex then.
Like the food.
Yes,
You're thinking of nachos.
I am. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good. Okay. Also on Saturday, the Commanders and Lions.
Good game.
I think
hope
these
it's
are the
close.
least desirable games.
You don't think the Commanders can be a contender here?
A little more Jaden Daniels magic.
No, I don't.
Wow, interesting. I, think
don't
it's going to
either.
be close.
I think Detroit takes BTA and goes right,
Well,
yeah, belt.
yeah.
I'll make sure everybody knows it again. Because one time I said it, nobody belt to A.
I got it
Yeah.
now.
That's why they're the Saturday games. I think those are the least interesting games. I think the Chiefs probably take it to Houston, the Tejanos. And I don't know how Washington stops Detroit.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's the difference.
That is the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, Rams and Eagles, that's a good game.
That is a good game.
That's a 7 out of 10 game. Like, that's exciting. I'm not super interested in either team, but I'm quite interested in both. Both have B-level storylines. That's a fun game. And either one of those teams winning the NFC, I would not be shocked by. The only team I'd be shocked by in the NFC would be the Commanders that won the NFC because it's so wide open.
Yeah.
The Lions, the Eagles, or the Rams that go to the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Could kind of see that coming. But then the Ravens and the Bills, 6:30, I guess 5:30 Central on Sunday night on CBS Paramount Plus. That's the thing, man. That game, that's going to be so tense for those guys. Like, I'm nervous for them, and I don't give a crap about them.
Yeah, I just hope it's not a blowout like the game during the season was, because I think Ravens blew them out 35-10.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I just gotta hope it's a good one.
That was in Baltimore.
That was in Baltimore though,
Mhm.
so
And this is in Buffalo.
Any
and it's
snow?
the playoffs. I don't know actually the forecast.
Reed, would you mind looking at the forecast for Sunday in
Oh, I
Buffalo,
got
New
it.
York?
I got
Thank
it,
you, buddy.
Thank
Kind
you,
of makes
Reed.
me sad that one of those two quarterbacks is going to be out.
Same.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like
like-
And
Captain
it's gonna
America
be the
versus
same
Iron Man.
stories all over.
I'm like,
again.
can you go to the NFC for a little
I
bit
know.
or
Yeah.
something?
Could it be where like the whole game, both of them just run the ball? The whole
Maybe.
game, like, yeah, screw the team. I'm doing this. And Lamar
Oh, you mean the
runs.
quarterback?
quarterback.
Taking it myself.
Oh,
And then Josh, give me the ball. I'm doing this.
I think they've already had the MVP voting.
Okay, so no.
So I don't
Yeah.
I don't know that any of them can prove anything at this point. They just probably want to win the game. But that'll be a fun one. Yeah, I hate that one has to lose too.
Sucks.
Because I'm not totally invested in either one.
Same.
And it sucks that because they're both competitors and they're both so freaking good. It sucks that they both can't win. But I'm not going to advocate for a participation trophy in division weekend.
No.
Reed?
So Saturday, the highs are 39 degrees with the low of 18 degrees. It's going to be cloudy with rain and snow in the morning with a little bit of snow in the afternoon.
And that's great. That's the day before the game. What about the day of the game?
Oh, yeah, on Saturday.
No, on well, you said Saturday.
I mean, Sunday. Yeah, sorry. Weatherman here. 18% chance of snow flurries, high of 22 degrees,
Okay,
low of 10
That's
degrees.
cold as crap.
That is very cold.
Yeah, I guess Baltimore, though, they're going to be fine and cold because
They're used to it.
it's-
And Derrick Henry is
it's-
just like an
yeah,
X
it's
factor.
nobody's-
Yeah.
odds makers as far as overall odds to win the Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions at plus 285. They are the favorite. A lot of that favorite is that they're on the side of the bracket that they think they can win the most,
Mhm.
and then you
Yeah.
put them in the Super Bowl. Then you have Kansas City at 2, Philadelphia at 3, Baltimore and Buffalo tied for 4th. And all those are they're pretty close. The Rams, Commanders, Texans. You know, I think I should take a flyer on the Rams. They're at plus 2,200.
Oh.
And I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but that's a great
They could definitely make
that's a
run,
great
though.
odd to put $10 on it.
Yeah, right.
I'm doing that now then.
Because
There
if
you go.
they lose, it was only $10. But
Yep.
if they win, you're like, man, I thought they were better than what they were being given credit for.
And yeah. Then you can even cash out if you get there.
Dude,
That's
you're
it.
telling me.
It's $10.
Well,
That's when you don't cash out when it's $10.
Yeah, but then you can hedge it and put it right back on them, maybe, or put it on the AFC team.
Yeah, the Chiefs again.
the lines are Chiefs are
-8.5.
-8 right now in Kansas City. That'll be probably a cold game. Reed, Chiefs weather
Let's see.
on Sunday in Kansas City.
Let's
Saturday.
see.
Oh yeah, Saturday.
That is Saturday.
Oh, so it is
Saturday
Saturday.
one.
Boy, it's like they had to deal with like the Chiefs, which is the most popular team,
Right.
and the Texans, which are probably the least popular team. It's like they had to decide which team do we want to focus on.
Yeah.
And I guess they couldn't put
it
it like
balances
Saturday at
out.
midnight, which would have been kind of
Too
the
late,
middle
too late.
ground.
High of 25 degrees, low of 9 degrees.
It looks so cold in that stadium because that stadium's old too.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything about playing in Kansas City looks like it hurts.
The ground.
Is Arrowhead old?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been around for a while.
Yeah.
I think it's called GEHA Stadium now.
oh, they did.
It's not called-
Or what is it?
But I mean, I guess is it still referred to as Arrowhead, right?
I
'Cause
mean,
I-
that's what everyone knows about legally, they have.
Well, we don't go to, we
Yeah,
don't want to
G-
jail.
Oh, true.
Yeah, jail.
GEHA Field.
And it's in the shape of an arrowhead.
Dude, I don't know. I just been there. I've never been to a game there, but I've been to Kauffman Stadium, which
Is that the baseball one?
they're right beside each other.
Yeah.
And so I'd go watch the Royals play, and then
Yeah.
it's like, there's what the Chiefs play.
That's cool.
1972.
Dang, that is
Old
old.
school.
Lions are -9.5. That is in Detroit. Eagles are -6 over the Rams. Baltimore -1 at Buffalo. So they're a point favorite in Buffalo. That's fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to Chiefs should just run away with it. End that game quick so I can spend time with my wife.
Yes.
So then I can
There you
use
go.
that time for other games.
you build points.
Right. Yeah.
I would love for them to be up like by 21.5 so I don't have to watch second half. And then I can just go hang out with my wife. So when I do want to break away later, it's not as much of an ask, which she will always say yes to, but I know to not be able to hang out with me, that's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I do this. Well, you can watch the game with me. She never wants to watch the game.
That's the
Yeah,
best
I
one.
do that too. They never want to watch.
You go, no, but you watch the game with me. Yeah, so fun weekend ahead. DraftKings is crowning a king of the end zone every NFL game day this weekend. It's super easy to do. You place a $5 pregame bet on an offensive player to find the end zone. And if they have the longest rushing or receiving touchdown that day, they are king of the end zone, and you win a share of $2 million in bonus bets. Think about that. A $5 pregame bet. You can be the king of the end zone. It's like Derrick Henry, to me, is a for sure end zoner, but is he the longest? Like, that's where it gets a bit tricky. He does have breakaway-ish speed,
He can
but
pull
like
away.
Saquon.
Saquon would
That's the
probably
one,
be a
right?
guy as far as like rushing, even last week when he slid, right?
That was killer.
He breaks that second level,
Got
gone.
money on him.
Gone.
You know who's super fast too? Is James Cook.
He is good too.
He gets
yeah.
those corners and it's like, dang.
Yeah.
He could break.
So if I were going to bet running back, probably Saquon. Receiving touchdown, that's a crapshoot.
Maybe Jalen Hurts gives AJ Brown some love after the whole
The book thing.
literary thing going on.
What's weird is when AJ Brown would be mad, he didn't get the ball when they lost.
I
That
know.
was always weird to me because you're not going to win public favor with that when your team is winning. You hold that when you're losing, and then
Right.
you'd have it split. Oh yeah, we got to get the ball, so we got to win. But if like you're winning, and you're like, I need the ball more. That ain't really politically a good move.
Can't back that up
Yeah, no,
in any way.
can't.
And what's going on with Cooper Kupp? Like they'll go a whole half of a game without him getting the ball.
Well, if they're bracketing him the whole time, like if their job is to shut down Cooper Kupp,
They're doing it.
I feel like the Rams, because they do have Puka, I feel like the Rams will go, okay, we will let you have that small victory. If not, we'll just give it to this guy. And I feel like part of their offensive philosophy is somebody's going to get shut down, and you continue to be shut down because you're making it easier on everybody else. So I don't feel like Cooper is an A.J. Brown type player, which I would be an A.J. Brown type player. Like, I need the ball.
Well, 100%.
But I feel like he knows his role in that offense is if he's being bracketed or double teamed or they're rolling over on him, he needs to continue to do that so it opens up the rest. And he's not going to pull out a book.
Okay.
If he does on the sidelines, it'd be like Cat in the Hat.
Dr.
Something easy to read. Something easy to read. DraftKings Sportsbook is crowning a king of the end zone every NFL game day. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the code BobbySports. That helps us. It helps you. That's the code BobbySports to compete for a share of $2 million in bonus bets only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help's available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario, 1 token per customer. Tokens expire at the start of the final NFL game each day when offered. Use token on day's longest touchdown score to receive equal share of $2 million in non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 168 hours. Additional wagering restrictions apply. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promo.